Chattisfying.
That's better. Hello,
I
mother
forgot that was the
funsters,
key phrase.
and welcome to to episode 5 of Chattisfying, your monthly podcast all about streamers, made by streamers, for streamers, with streamers. Although it's even more meta today, because today we're going to be talking all about podcasting. So it's a podcast about podcasting. How meta can you be? So please join me in welcoming. I guess you can welcome me. I'm Mellar, the host. This
Welcome.
is my beautiful co-host, the Hairy Hippo.
I'm the Hairy Hippo.
Hi.
Welcome.
And please join us in welcoming the amazing Lolthulhu below.
Is this technically
Hello.
like guestception then? Because you're a guest on ours and I'm technically a guest with you, but it says, but you're a podcaster. So like
It's all extremely meta and very confusing, if I'm honest
I'm a
with you.
podcaster because of Mellar too, so it'll make it even more meta when we have Mellar on our show.
So is Mellar the Godfather?
In a way, yeah, because that's what really got me into it on like the small level of just like, hey, let's just start one about the things we're passionate about.
Yeah.
And we did.
Well, we're definitely going to talk about that in quite a lot of detail a little bit later. But let's start off. We'll launch the show by talking a bit about you, Lolthulhu, or
Okay,
Lolthulhu.
let's rewind it all the way back to 2017, baby. I think earlier. I count 2017 because that's when I made a Discord and like actually started caring about it. And at first, I had accidentally hit the share button on my PS4 controller, and it's like broadcast on Twitch, and I was like, oh, this thing can stream. Cool, we're doing it. And it went from there because Warframe community is really nice to streamers. And what a ride! The friends, the opportunities, even starting out, like the crazy games I would have never even heard of. The tangible and positive impacts on people's lives, like what? Some of the best friends I have in my life are from Twitch. It's been an experience and it's been really good. I'm a streamer. I do that. I like Dungeons and Dragons and all video games. I love my plants and my cats.
And your wife,
and my adorable wife.
Is it in that order?
No.
Okay, just checking.
No, because I said plant first. So even if it was the correct order, it would still no.
So
everyone knows cats come before plants. Come on. I try to just focus on like a genuine experience of just enjoying playing games, because that's what I like to watch the most on Twitch, and I like to try to produce things that I would enjoy myself and am proud of. Do a lot of that, make a lot of friends, I try to pay forward all the immense kindness I received from 30-something nerds back in the 90s when MMOs had just come out, to a new generation of kids that have way more crazy stuff to deal with than we ever did. I'm glad we didn't have TikTok.
Oh god,
like whoa,
that would be killer.
What a world.
What about Vine though? Because did you like Vine when that was about?
It was, I mean, I didn't like download it, but I enjoyed some of the Vine compilations that people later uploaded to YouTube. Like the same way I enjoy TikTok, like secondhand or third hand curated by someone, so I didn't have to watch any of it.
You don't have to sort of sleuth through all the crap to get to the good stuff. They've already done that for you, basically.
There is high demand for Fatty Talk, my cat named Fatty. He's the real star of my channel, and so there might at one point just be, because he's just a clown. Like everybody's like, "Oh, my cat's like a dog," and like, no, you don't even know. This guy will follow you around and yell at you, and like sit on your chest in the morning, like meow, and like he enjoys being picked up and squeezed. Like he's not a cat at all, and he's gonna have a TikTok, but amazing. I probably won't.
Good time. So talk to us a little bit more about, because I think this is a really interesting story about how you basically started streaming by accident. So you accidentally started streaming to PS4. Do you remember roughly how long that stream was? Like, would you be a streamer now?
You have to make it count first. Yeah, probably. Because I had already sort of been exposed to Twitch by like trying to find YouTube videos about new games that didn't annoy me, and at the time, I think most YouTube videos that weren't commentless long plays annoyed me. And then I was like, oh, look, here's a website where you can find live long plays with less commentary, or at least, the live interaction thing. It's a fine trade-off. They're lovely people, I'm one of them now. We're all right. Once you get to know us. And so there was already sort of the seed there. But that was what I was like, oh, okay, might as well go make an account. I am going to just be sitting here playing Warframe for 8 hours today. Let's see how it goes. And it was, I think I had a mic and no cam on the PS4's terrible streaming interface, and started making some friends from that. I was like, okay, this is amazing.
And would you say it's Warframe that kind of gave you a springboard to kind of where you are now, or did you sort of breakthrough come through from something else?
At first, like as far as having anybody in chat ever, it was Warframe and weird maps. The racing community in GTA 5. I don't know how robust it is nowadays, but like the weird custom maps, and people were like, back before they put in the stunt tracks, people were using these editors on PC to make ramps out of like cargo containers and make these crazy stunt courses that then they would then upload to the PS3 and then eventually the PS4. A lot of fun friends with that. A lot of people who are serious about video game racing, which was just interesting as the token idiot of the group. Like, okay, yeah, sure. Especially if I beat one of them. Great time. And then I would say if I had another breakthrough, it would be probably Undertale.
Ooh.
Great game. Good game. Lots of like long-lasting, completely mutually beneficial friendships.
That's quite interesting,
from around
actually,
the community of that game.
Because
people have mixed experiences with it.
Yeah, well, I know that Maury and I have had quite an interesting experience of Undertale, basically modding for someone streaming it, and
it's also changed a lot too.
Yeah, I get the feeling that since you played it, and between yourself and Vert, I think it probably has, because we struggled with this community. If I'm honest with you,
I am slightly afraid to revisit it, even though it's one of my favorite games. But I mean, I'll give it a try. And plus, now I don't need. Now, most of the children, they just really want to come in and talk about spoilers about the game, or
pretty much the experience I had. To be fair, I was
weird, creepy roleplay stuff. Yeah, and it's like, all right, well, no, I'm playing this. That's not, and bless it. It's like a 10-year-old. Like okay, like all right. I understand you have no agency of your life, and you just want to reach out and affect something, but like,
TOS.
No, I mean no, like they're like 10-year-olds that like subvert TOS to make an account and then come in to go hang out with the grown-ups, and it's like, oh, kid, please, not now.
Yeah,
not now. Let us enjoy this.
Yeah,
and it can't be helped. It's just part of it. But I think you can still get lucky with it and have a completely positive experience streaming it, especially if you have good mods.
Yeah.
And it is the good people in that community far outweigh any of the bad. It's sort of like anything else that people think of as toxic, or like like the bad side of Tumblr. It's really just like a few really loud bad people, and then just like an immense sea of the greatest kindness you'll ever experience. And so it makes it easier to overlook the bad parts. That applies to like
very true.
most of the things in life.
Yeah, that's a really good outlook on life as well.
Or anything that's considered cringe, I think it specifically applies to a lot. It's like, oh yeah, I mean those guys, yeah, just like leave that area they're in, go to another room. Like there's 12 of them. It's like mean people in Canada. There's like 6, just like.
So that actually kind of segues quite nicely into my next questions. There's ever been like a stream game that just hasn't worked out for you, like at all, and that you sort of at the end of it you've gone, that was a complete waste of everyone's time?
So in terms of games that I love, but kind of won't bother streaming, guilty pleasure, Roblox. Cannot even attempt to stream that game. There's just some amazing, just shoddy indie game glory to some of the things. The Pokemon that somebody made in Roblox was one of my favorite Pokemon I've ever played. Actually had really good Pokemon. It was a good Pokemon game. Wow. I'm not even lying. And
I know a lot of people that would link you for saying that.
It was a good Pokemon game. I haven't played the last like 3 though, so I'm only in like an expert on old Pokemon games at this point because I haven't caught up yet.
Yeah.
So disregard my entire opinion on Pokemon in general. But same deal. Minecraft, actually, same. Brick Bronze, thank you. It is gone now. Minecraft, same deal. One of my favorite games. Been playing it since accounts were free back in alpha. Like when I saw a poster I didn't know it had blown up. When I saw a poster for Minecraft at Walmart, I freaked the hell out. I was, what? This got popular, and now we know what Minecraft is it's
the biggest game in the
evolved
world.
and changed.
It still is the best selling game, I think, in the world.
But I cannot stream that game because of what's a positive way? I don't particularly mesh well with the average Minecraft community. It's the best way to.
Fair enough.
It's the most.
I think we all know what you're trying to say.
A very friendly way to put it, and I think I'll just leave it there. Love the game though, and love like again, like anything, there's amazing people in it, but like I don't have the time to wade through Minecraft chat for more than like an hour or two before I swear off ever streaming it again for another like 5 years.
Understood. Yeah.
Great game though, really fun to stream too. So what can you do?
Have you conversely on that, have you ever had a game that you've not enjoyed but your community really has?
Yeah, every competitive PvP game.
Like what, Fortnite, for example?
I'm trying to think of a competitive PvP game that I enjoyed streaming, that people, especially ones that people ask me to stream, are like, hey, have you tried this game? And I may have had a little bit of fun in Super Animal Royale because it's very silly and casual. And I may have had a little bit of fun in, oh gosh, what's it called? It's a good one. Apex Legends, just because it's so well made and so newbie friendly. Otherwise, I'm just not a very competitive person. Like I grew up on the old days MMOs, the EverQuest, the very like they didn't even bother putting PvP into it. It was an afterthought because this is like high level cooperative stuff. I had a brother growing up. We loved the co-op games, and so like I never really. And I had an older brother, so I could never beat him. So I never really got into competitive games. Wow, I'm just realizing that was pretty formative, wasn't it? And so I tend to go toward the co-op games, and then also back to my origins with Warframe. Co-op game communities on Twitch are the best. I won't talk bad about any other community, but I will tell you, co-op games have the best communities on Twitch and have the best people you'll ever meet in them, because they pretty much just spend all their time helping people out and being friendly, because that's what the gameplay's design encourages. And it just draws in the same way that a competitive game is going to bring in a younger, more competitive, maybe more prone to certain forms of toxicity and maybe less prone to empathy of an audience, because it's about beating people. When you come from games that are all about helping people, you get helpful people.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you do get some people that are just there to ruin it, but you'll get that wherever you go. Yeah,
back to Canada, those 6 guys. In EverQuest, I think there's like 2 or 3 trolls per server. It's really easy to block them.
Oh wow! Okay, that sounds awesome. So what would you say is your favorite game that you've ever streamed? Like, as a streaming experience, shall I say? Rather than the actual game experience.
God, a lot of fun games to stream. Because of the people, like I had a few. Notice the Zelda shield and sword. Sorry, I just love it. That was my backpack when I was a bike courier. That's a backpack. Okay. Probably just to stream because just from the experience I had of it, might have actually been Danganronpa 1 or 2. Just because I had some friends from the viewership that really wanted that gameplay and like were really good about protecting from spoilers and like being like, oh, look at this, and like we got into deep about like I love a good detective story. And we got in deep about like theorizing, and like when I would like secretly call something like 2 hours before it happened in game, and the characters would slowly work their way toward it. It was a great experience. It was like doing a Nancy Drew thing, but like with a bit of a make your own adventure thing with friends doing it along with you. It's like mystery dinner theater with friends. Great experience. It's another one of those mixed bag community games for sure. You can have a great time, or I feel like you could probably have a really bad time with Danganronpa. And the subject matter was hard to get through, actually. Stop it. Dear Spike Chunsoft, please stop. However, I had a great time streaming that game specifically. It was amazing. I would say 2 if I had to pick one.
I didn't even know.
Ultra Despair Girls. I don't know. One of them. Just one of those games.
Amazing. That's absolutely fantastic. Now, I really have to go into... it's over now. But when I first, myself, experienced the force of nature that is Lolthulhu, you weren't really playing video games.
Oh.
Were
you on some shaky handlebars?
Yeah. So you, for a space, I think it was about 6 months, I want to say, you
about half a year before
pretty much every exclusively in real life stream, from a bicycle. Can you talk us a little bit about what that was all about, how it happened, and all that kind of thing?
Okay, so I moved positions to the day shift at the downtown sandwich shop that's now closed. It was closed before COVID. It was closed just because the owner was anyway. So my job at that was just writing food to people in a very small range in like the middle of the city, which was interesting. I now have an innate disdain for security guards of all types as a result of that job. Sure, they're lovely people outside of work, but it's just a sandwich. And amazingly, one day I was looking into trying to stream Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go came out, and I was riding around a lot off like after shifts just on my bike. Because, you know, I was in like the top shape of my life. I was riding like 20 miles a day for work, so I could just keep going for forever. I had calves even bigger than when I played DDR. Insane calves. I digress. So I started just trying like, hey, I'll just try streaming while I ride around on my bike. And I was like, oh, should probably get a mount for this. And slowly I got a slightly upgraded phone that could even process, encoding on Slobs'. Slobs had a great mobile app. I don't know, Slobs has gone downhill, but
yeah,
they definitely had the winner for mobile app at the time for broadcasting, because that was like kind of new anyway.
Hey, we're talking about quite a long time ago now, aren't we?
Yeah, this is back when Slobs was good, for context.
Exactly.
Oh, rest in peace. Got on the radio of Roll20. So I got like a bike mount, and it was just like the cheapest you could do. I couldn't get the phone's charging port was messed up, so I couldn't actually outpace the drain of the battery of streaming with the charger pack. So I had to stop every like 2 hours and just pop in. I have like 4 spare batteries. I would charge before. It was just held together by duct tape. And it was a blast. I couldn't find anybody doing it. Now I've found a few people, and they have great setups, and there's some great bike streams out there. But I couldn't find any, and I couldn't find anybody to network with. Like, hey, anybody else doing this? I was like, well, I would watch this. And then the camera, because it's mounted on the bike handlebars in a terrible city in southern US, so just like all the time, and just like most of the time looked terrible except for when you hit the 2 or 3 paved spots of road in town. It was fun. And on deliveries, I would just leave it on the handlebars, just waiting to get stolen. Still astounded it never happened. Like, people look at it, but I think the fact that you look at it and you see your own self and like a live thing, they might have thought it was just there they might have just thought it was like an anti-theft camera or something.
Yeah, possibly.
It's like,
not
a lot of streamers around here.
There's definitely a few bike streamers about, because we actually on the clip show that we played and follow something not that long ago, we watched a clip, didn't we, of a guy on a bike. Or he was going down a towpath on a canal, and he fell in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was good times.
It was brilliant. Yeah. Made for a good clip. But no, that's a really interesting thing, because I actually think, because I have to admit I wasn't around that much back then, but I did watch some of it, and I've seen other people with nicer stuff who've done like that kind of, well, out in real live stream that hasn't gone very well because the internet's the big issue with that kind of thing.
Oh, but
the internet in whatever city you were in obviously was pretty good, because
you could handle it at 540p. I'm all right with it. The part of it being left on the handlebars was because you couldn't take it in elevators.
Right.
It would just shut the street on each time. It's like, well, okay, here we go.
Yeah, it's basically a Faraday cage, isn't it? Nothing can get out of one.
Yep, basically.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's such an interesting thing. And then, of course, when you ended that, that period of your life where you were working for that company, you went straight back to streaming sort of more standard streams, playing video games, and all this kind of thing back at your desk.
That was a big time for me. I was getting on. I finally had gotten during the bike streams. Some friends had gotten together, including a few people from Twitch, and funded me getting my current rig, which is also a Frankenstein, but I love it so much. I named it the Blastinator 5000, and just in regards of how much of an upgrade it was to my previous PC, which it was a bottleneck on so many if it was a new game and it wasn't on my PS4, I couldn't play it. I could basically that was why Undertale was a big thing. It was like, hey, look, a game I can run and stream.
Right.
And so I got the new computer. My work just shut down because the owner was spending things on non-business expenses rather than keeping the company alive. It's a good kid-friendly way to put it. And so then I'm at home, able to stay up till like 4 or 5 a.m. American time every night streaming. A lot of fun people from across the world come in. Finally can run VR chat and just having a social renaissance and just like hundreds of new friends and just all this amazing stuff. VR chat is amazing. Even without VR, just keyboard and mouse, just walking around as like a little, where's my boy? Just pull in as the Dratini. It's the cutest Pokemon. Everybody loves you by default. Just kind of sit around. It's cute, made friends, found entire groups of like VR chat performers and like talent shows and stuff. And like, it's all this crazy stuff still going on. You can find it. It's like game jams. There's always more going on than you could ever find. Good times. Was actually at my peak viewership back then. I've hit a few weeks of 40 average viewers back then. Nice. But then I got a job.
Kind of ruins things, doesn't it?
And now I'm dead inside. But I don't have to worry about rent as much. So
yeah, well, there's an upside
capitalism
to everything, isn't it? Exactly.
In the end, I successfully gave up on my dream and got a desk job to toil away in agony.
Oh man. Well, that's one way of putting it, I suppose.
I mean, I got a job. Now I'm financially stable, is what I was trying to say.
There's the positive spin. And the not
yeah.
positive spin.
Though we should probably eat the rich if it comes up.
Soylent Green is people.
Yeah. Rich people. Okay. But I digress. It was a very good time. Yeah, VR chat is still very close to my heart. What a bunch of wholesome weirdos. If you go to the right, that's another one where you really have to go. You'll end up with a room full of people that are less fun to hang out around. And then it's very easy in VR chat to fit, like literally just leave the room and like walk 10 feet away and just talk to some other people. And then you find the really cool people that are very kind. Good time.
Excellent. Well, one thing I definitely want to talk about is Lolthulhu.
Mm-hmm. The big day.
I believe that you're known affectionately by your community now. Is this not true? It's become a bit of a meme. Lolthulhu. Yeah, well, this has a whole story about it. So tell us the whole story from beginning to end.
Well, I'll start with like the it's like the thing where you introduce the fact that it seems like, whoa, what's the context for that? So when Scarce or somebody on that level of like a very like what do you call like a credible, like a not even incredible, like a reliable source for mainstream drama news, I guess, would you call the sphere, comes out with something. I'm pretty sure he's more of an authority on things than I. So when somebody like Scarce renames you Lolthulhu, that's basically your name. So some like Thursday at like 4 p.m. I'm like almost off work, sun's starting to set. I'm just like rambling about something just stupid. I don't even know. I'm like out of breath. Yeah, I'm on the you're on the handlebars. It's like swaying a little bit because I'm tired and I'm just like out of breath. I don't even know what story I was talking about. Some weird, because you end up in food service, you know, like with a lot of old coworker stories. I could go on for like 4 hours of just like stuff that you actually wouldn't believe, but did happen. And so like as I'm saying something like, oh, I guess I was just high on meth at the time, which is great when they put it on like the local the state newspaper's website, and they played that clip without my permission. It also has me swearing really loud because right as I'm saying that, you hear from the background, and like in the South in America, riding a bike, you get used to just people like trying to kill you sometimes. Right. It's like a weird thing. They don't like, they dislike the sight of someone on a bicycle to the point of murder. It's just a thing. We murder people for a lot around here, and that's one of them. So I'm just like, oh, it's a guy. He's probably in like a big, like a Ford F-150 with 6 tires, and he's probably just running that red light, but he might be trying to kill me. Is, you know, more likely the first one. And so I just like kind of veer over slightly to the right, but then it's not just a guy flooring it to get to the red light. It's a guy just like floor, and it's like, and so I'm just like, Jesus, expletive, which is also great to see on the state news site. As a smashed up red stolen Corvette just past me at like whatever top speed he could get with that damage. I would say probably like around. Oh wait, how do you convert to kph? We'll just say 120 kilometer kph. Why not?
We do miles per hour in the UK anyway. So what would it be?
Somewhere between I would put them around 80 miles per hour. And just like billowing smoke. Yeah. Good times. And then just a series of differently distanced police SUVs at full force, just guy had jacked a car like over in the richer part of town and had led them on this like over half-hour long chase because we're like far from there in the middle of the city, just all around the place. And then just at a camera shot, just like around, not even around the bend, but like directly ahead, but kind of over a slight hill, veered off the road and did a whole dramatic crash up thing. Luckily, nobody hurt from that. His life's probably ruined though. He'd done the thing where you do a crime while you're doing other crimes. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go do the very, very inadvisable crime of carjacking, which is, you know, just always a bad idea. It's like, but I'm gonna have a stolen gun and drugs on me while I do it, just to make sure. I don't know, is it like burning your house when you leave so you can't go back? I'm not sure what the plan was, but it didn't go well for him. It was an exciting day at work though, and then that got shared around. I think somebody put it on Twitch fails on Reddit, and then like the next, like 2 days later, people were linking me as it's on all these big name, like the other, like Scarce and all the Streamers Reloaded, I think is the biggest one. Most of them at least had my name on it. Nobody contacted me. I would have been so excited, you know, if anybody on that level, like, because I had like, I don't know, like I was celebrating 500 followers, you know. I would have been over the heels if somebody like, hey, can we use your clip? And it's like, it's fine that you used it, but like, senpai noticed me at least in exchange. Yeah, right. Oh well, good times though. Got a lot of new people that stopped through, and then, you know, like, oh, what's all this? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm just delivering sandwiches. Like, oh, that's boring. Goodbye. But it was fun. It was fun. It was a good time. I got my 15 minutes. I can't say I never got my 15 minutes. You know.
So what was the name of the guy again that mispronounced your name?
Oh, that's Scarce. I believe there's this weird canon thing where like a week after that he dropped off of YouTube for like up until very recently.
Oh, really?
And so it's like that's what killed his. That's why we killed Scarce's YouTube the day he said my name wrong. But now he's back, and I think he's doing fine. I honestly, I don't like watch YouTube drama recaps. That's like not my thing. But it's a dang good show. I recommend that guy. He's a good guy. He's a meme too. He's like, hey guys, it's Scarce here. You know, he walks out from behind the tree. It's funny. Good channel. Good channel. But he did call me Lolthulhu. Okay. Maybe
it's a name association. Maybe Cthulhu actually stopped him from streaming.
Yeah, maybe.
he had to make a sacrifice to Cthulhu.
Ever since. But ancient impossible castle.
I'm guessing
made of soapstone.
I'm guessing that's where your name comes from, by the way. It's a play on Cthulhu, right?
Yeah, I kind of thought it would be taken. I tried it when I got a PS3. They're like, make a Sony account to do things. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. I'm like, I bet Lolthulu's probably taken, and it wasn't. And so then I snatched it up on everything, and now it's my internet name, for better or worse. No one can spell it.
But where did you get it from?
Well, I mean, there was an old meme site.
Why Cthulhu? Why did you make a name out of that? What made
there was like a 90s meme site named Lolthulu. I guess that could be it. It's like the idea of meme Cthulhu.
Okay.
Basically it, you know, like,
yeah,
there's not much to it.
It's that second H that always gets me.
well, it's educational because it helps you learn how to spell Cthulhu.
Because I'm really going to need to know that, right?
Well, apparently.
When he takes over, we're all going to need to know how to spell his name.
Eventually, yeah. I have a tract for that around here. I have the tract. It's really cute. I like it.
Amazing. So, what's coming soon in the land of Lolthulu?
Coming soon.
Yeah, you do Twitch. You don't do YouTube, do you? You do Twitch and like Instagram.
Funny you should mention. So coming soon, and I guess includes currently, which is currently D&D twice a week, which is pretty exciting for me. Both campaigns we're working on formatting and exporting to YouTube and as audio on like Podbay or whatever you go to do that.
Wicked. If
you are completely new. Maybe all of them or all the ones. We're looking into how you actually do that in terms of like, is there exclusivity, which one's best to launch D&D podcast on, etc. So we got that going. 2 amazing campaigns. Sunday campaign is actually wrapping up, but then there'll be a new one after that. So that like steady weekend D&D, and then other games that I like to play. But in terms of YouTube, we also got the weekly post podcast, which is also at the point we're going to start putting those episodes out on a weekly basis. So that's probably my biggest 2 coming soons, other than like games I'm excited to play. I have like 100 games I want to play. at least, that I already own that I haven't gotten around to. And I just beat The Last of Us 2. So I've beaten a game, and that's the first step to starting a new game.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty good stuff.
There you go.
What's the podcast called again?
That is the Weekly Shit Post.
The Weekly Shit Post. There you go.
Fun, and actually fun news about that. We have a bit of a change up. We had a really good guest on, Lil Doopy. That's our boy, right? Meshed really well with that boy. Ended up like the episode ended up going up like 4 or 5 hours, and like the other 2 co-hosts had to leave, and I was just still there, just going on and on with this dude. Great dude. He's gonna be like one of our rotating guests that be coming on sometimes. It looks like our other boy Handy is going on. We have like a whole shuffling of roster, and it seems to be toward higher, more manic energy and more complete off the rails fuckery, which has become our brand.
So it's basically
and Deck's part of it. Oh, that boy Suko Nami, he's part of it too. He's an agent of chaos.
Nami play
That's
Final
our
Fantasy X
boy.
Recently. Amazing.
He's not even an agent of chaos. He's like a mentor of chaos. I've learned a lot from that man.
Amazing. Well, I think that probably I've been rumbled, right? I think that probably brings us quite nicely into our topic for today. Because we were kind of just talking about it anyway. So the topic, we're basically talking today about podcasting, which is incredibly messy. Here we are on a podcast talking about podcasting. So we're talking, I guess, about your podcast, our podcast, and also sort of the merits of it as well, or demerits, I suppose, as well. So we'll let you, as the guest, of course, go first. What are your thoughts on podcasting?
Okay. So I guess it depends on the project, because that's like a very broad term. But I think the one that we both have the most experience with is the talk show style podcast, or the interview/talk show, somewhere in that spectrum. I kind of put that all in like one category in my head, because they kind of bleed back and forth between each other, even within shows with established formats. So like, first, figure out what you're doing is probably important. And that can take as long as you need. The beauty of having an unknown podcast, I think the strongest strength of anything that just started out is your flexibility, because no one has any expectations of you and you don't really have a fan base for the show yet. You can try out every crazy thing you can think of, just throw it at the wall and see what sticks. And from that, you'll learn a lot about, especially if this is a multi-person project, you'll learn a lot about each other and like your chemistry together, and about not only what you're doing, but what you want to do. And then you can have actual tangible goals and not just like loose goals. And then I think is really, really when it gets exciting, and you start to really like start thinking about branding and where you're going to put the show and such. I recommend it to anybody that likes the idea. I mean, the same thing with streaming. Anybody that has passion for it innately, if you hear that, like you think about doing it and it makes you excited and passionate to do it, I think anybody should try it and see if they like what comes out. Like, watch your own episode back and see, like, is this salvageable? And if so, pursue it. If not, Five Nights at Freddy's only got made because Scott Cawthon learned to recognize his weakness and work toward his strengths. So if it's fine either way. You learn something about yourself. It's a positive experience.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I think I've just learned something about myself right here.
So talk shows specifically, if you're gonna have guests on, that's a whole thing. If you're not gonna have guests on, then you probably need stuff to talk about.
Wait, so you don't need stuff to talk about if you've got a guest on?
Not necessarily.
That's pretty much why I'm here. We know this.
Yeah, that's why you have guests. You don't have to. You don't have to write as much. You can just think about them. No, what I mean is, with the absence of somebody who's new and interesting, that you can just talk about them and things they're interested in, and segue from other topics that they feed you through the whole, like, up to like 3 hours of just that without even having to really plan anything. Trust me, I know from experience. But it's good to have at least something to talk about, unless you just have that good of chemistry where you can just have a stream of consciousness 1+ hour unlull having talk segment. Then it's good to have, like, I don't know, funny news is a good fallback. It's my favorite. That's my secret, honestly. I I'll just get some funny news that's unrelated to anything.
Hmm.
And if it ever seems like these are starting to slow down, but we're not already done yet, just nobody has an idea, then just bring up our old boy Florida Man here to save the day. Florida Man and science are the ultimate restarter of the conversation. But with interviews, you should already have stuff ahead of time for that, or stuff that you thought of while they were talking, because there's so much. Everybody is a diamond. There's so much to everybody. Everyone has at least one TED Talk in them about something they like.
Absolutely, like a rant, basically.
Something, yeah, a rant, an essay, a lecture, depends on how they think.
Absolutely.
Whether or not they need a whiteboard to illustrate it, I think, is the differentiation between two of those.
Or a green screen.
Or a green screen, yeah, with infographics.
I'm looking at you, Hippo.
I'm not a green screen. I promise. It's a wall. I promise. It's generally a wall. It's a bloody wall.
Yeah, no, drawing it with a Sharpie. Oh wait, that would work on a green screen. Foiled. It would be a different shade.
I need to make proof.
Wait,
You win this time.
So it's the realist things. Is that really a wall?
Yeah, it's really a wall. Yeah.
Have you just
Oh
painted
wait,
it?
I can prove it. Hold on.
You got that studio on borrow from John Oliver. Oh,
Can you see the wall?
Yeah,
foiled. That could be a very clever paint job.
And then there's my clock.
I have to
the
admit,
evidence
I
is
didn't
mounting.
believe you when you said that in chat, because it really looks flawless.
I
It looks
know.
like a green
I know,
screen.
and yet I can't green screen the white wall because it makes me vanish.
How did you get them to let you borrow the white void from John Oliver for a week?
To be fair, it was just a whiteboard, and I thought I'd put it up on the wall. But it's all good, you know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a whiteboard, so you can do the lecture.
Yes.
Excellent.
So today's
Good.
topics. It's going to be rainy up here.
Naruto, start to finish.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's generally just my wall, and my previous setup, I used to have all my my nerdy colors and paintings and stuff like that on the wall, all my geeky crap that I like to keep around. And I thought, do you know what? I want to look at it instead of have it behind me. So I thought I'd turn the desk around, and then realized I have a light right in front of all my stuff, looking at me, so I can't actually see any of my geeky stuff because there's a bloody umbrella in the way.
So that's what you need the backlighting for, is just for your benefit, not for the camera.
Pretty much, yeah.
I will say the white void background, like, it pops out, like, it looks good. I think
I think it does look good. Yeah,
it stands out too. Like, I don't see that a lot.
I feel
it
angelic.
looks intentional. Yeah, like an Apple commercial or something.
yeah.
Not in a bad way though.
Would you like me to fix your iPhone? I'm here for you. Honestly, I'm here to help.
Oh, well, I have
Apple genius, right?
knockoff earbuds. Let's go. They look like Apple.
Oh,
So-
bless. But yeah, no, it just is.
Professional audio equipment is also important for streaming.
See, I wonder if I move my microphone, it vanishes almost. No, it's just okay. It's okay.
Not
That's
quite.
all right then.
We'll work
all
on
right.
it.
We're okay.
Work on it. We'll paint it
Wait.
green.
I got so much white stuff around me. I got a Hedwig. That's just like he vanishes.
That is.
Oh wow, you
horrible.
could actually have a whole all white display behind you.
I
That
really
barely
could.
make out. You just see the eyes on Hedwig.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were we talking about? Podcasting.
Podcast.
Continue about podcasting. That was really interesting.
Me? Okay. I want to know your thoughts on okay. Okay, so just talking about the basics. This is apparently the my ad-lib tutorial on how to start a podcast, apparently. Really about just, if you're going to run it alone, I guess I don't actually know how to do it. But I've only done projects with other people, and with other people, it's all about, you got to communicate more than you probably think you should, and hammer stuff out and find out things that you didn't know were important to each other. And also, first few episodes are part of that too, of how's this actually going to come out when it comes down to it. We're going for a format, loose format, tight format, no format, segments, good stuff to start hammering out. You don't have to hammer it out before your first thing, but it's a really good stuff to be hammering out early on, so you can build on it and refine it, or scrap it if it doesn't work. So definitely experiment is number one the whole time. Make sure you have fun. Don't advertise anything, because then they won't advertise you because you're already doing it for free, which is why I plug a certain shadowy legendary game constantly, so they won't ever approach me. True story. I would do it now, but I don't want to corrupt any of your chances in case you want to sell out later.
No thanks.
Never mind the good sponsors. Okay. Make sure to get a sponsorship before you're worth anything. No, I'm kidding.
Hashtag bag
Have
advice,
fun.
right?
best advice: have fun. And it's one of those things, kind of like streaming or any other sort of like thing in the gray area between passion, hobby, and this could be a thing that's beyond a hobby one day. That huge gray area that we exist and thrive in. You mostly will get out what you put in. So I mean, if it's fun and you're excited and you can spare the time, like put the effort and time into it, pour it into it, and see what comes out.
Of course,
can't really go wrong. Worst case scenario, just delete all evidence of it. Good times.
You
and work on branding later. I forgot. I actually typed out brief notes on this way earlier.
Oh, let's have the note. Yeah, go through your notes.
Oh, that's like everything I already said. Yeah. Oh no, this is an important one. Do not schedule guests too far ahead. You'll both forget, and then things will come up, or it'll turn out that you scheduled for Mother's Day. True story, etc. Don't do that. I would say maybe go for 2 months in advance, tops. No matter how many people you want to line up, just put them on a list of people to hit up later, and then keep on top of it.
Yeah.
And I think that you already know is follow up with them before the day of. Follow up with them like 2 weeks before, and then like the day before, and then like the day of, and maybe give them some notes to go over, or like at least like an FAQ of like what to expect, because a lot of people, especially if you're doing a small podcast, especially if you're having friends on, or like the cool people that you think would be great on a podcast, they'll be their first time, and they'll be nervous about stuff that doesn't even matter, and so just like a little FAQ, like don't worry, smiley face.
If it goes wrong, I'll just hate you forever. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just use this for the blooper reel forever and ever.
So
I think that's all I had written down and all I have in my head regarding just like general unsolicited, what do I think about that? Oh, establish goals. Which is, I kind of touched on earlier, of like establish first goal is like finding out what your goals are, basically. Yeah. And then work on more tangible ones as you more figure out what you're going towards. These do not sound familiar. Shut up, Dick.
Amazing. What about because obviously you run your own podcast, which we discussed earlier. You have guest hosts, don't you? But you.
Oh yeah, we had a bit of a chaotic format.
You're the person that organizes everything. Is that right?
It's sort of. So it was sort of an equal collaboration, and has been in a bit of flux. Our journey has been sort of a rotating, revolving cast of separate shit posters who all have great on-air chemistry and all work well for the show, but schedules in real life and such, and hammering out like who's our actual core going to be, and then by chance, it's now essentially so we have 2 to 4 people that may show up if we need someone to fill in, and then me and our boy Gently Challenged as the headmans, and also just coincidentally the 2 that have actually kind of put in the most actual effort into it. So it's kind of worked itself out on its own, of just like a natural just communist style distribution of work where we didn't really discuss anything, and then he's been better at like landing guests because he's very charismatic and like organizing calendar stuff, and then we've got actually Deck and I have separately been working on some stuff for branding. Just things come up like this is things we want to do, and it's been very relaxed on our end in terms of like not trying to like tell anybody they need to do something, because it's like this, you're here by choice. This is a hobby we're doing in our bedrooms and offices. Like, let's have fun first of all.
Absolutely.
And people might enjoy that.
Absolutely, because it is quite a lot of work at the end of the day, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah. Especially the editing post. That's our slogan. Our unrealized slogan is that we'll fix it in post.
I've heard that on your show a lot.
No, we never will, but we'll always say that, ironically, which will stay on the recording. It is a lot of work, a lot of time, especially into the video side of it.
It is. I actually have to say, just quickly before we go on to Hippo's thoughts, I think it might just be because I sort of smash it all out at once after the show. It doesn't feel to me like the editing takes a lot of time, even though it clearly does. it's all the setup that like at least cognitively feels like it takes a lot of time for me. But I think if you actually added up the hours, then it probably would actually be the editing that takes longer.
Wait, did you do your homework like near the time it was assigned in school?
Some and some.
Do you not have ADHD?
Because
I can't relate.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It must be nice doing things in a relatively reasonable time span.
Yeah, I guess I got that from my dad. He's like the most organized person that I know. I'm not as organized as him, but I try.
Yeah, but it's got to be helpful to like actually get stuff done like when you plan to do them. That seems really fun and rewarding.
You should try it. I'm kidding.
It seems a lot less stressful than my process.
So, Hairy Hippo, what do you think about podcasting?
Okay, so I'm in two minds still about the whole thing. Not so much like Chattisfying. I love Chattisfying, and I'm deeply honored to be part of it because, you know, I was on with your old bit and as a guest, and I really enjoyed it. And generally, I really like talking anyway, but it's usually a load of shit that I talk about, and that's just how I roll. And I look everywhere nowadays, and I feel like there is podcasts about absolutely everything by the absolute metric, fucking shit tons of it. It's just everywhere of everything. And I think I kind of feel it's a little bit like Twitch, you know, in terms of you've got to wade through it to find the one you want to listen to.
There's too much content.
Yeah. It's just like everyone's jumping on the bandwagon and it's everywhere. And it's a rare case to find one that you can generally connect with, I think. But when you do, I think you're stuck on it in life. It's like, you know, a series of books or like, you know, a TV series or something like that. You're hooked on it, you're waiting for it, and it's great. It's just finding that kind of thing, which I think is when you're chucking it out onto like YouTube's or the podcasting stream sites you were on about earlier and stuff like that, then it kind of makes sense to do so. But I don't know. I mean, I ummed and ahed in my early to mid career of streaming to doing it, and I had a couple of options, and it was like, I don't know if because it is a lot of effort. I see how much. I mean, like I was saying before this started, I'm pretty much the pretty face of this thing. I come in and I talk dirty. We have a laugh. It's great, and I can go to bed. It's fantastic. Have a play with myself, and done. Mellar puts so much into it. It's absolutely insane, and I envy his skill, or anyone who can put so much effort into it. Because like I said, I watch some things, and I'm a huge World of Warcraft fan, so I watch some stuff about old World of Warcraft content, like with Classic and all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of classic podcasts out there, and it's got the streams that I like that are on it, and they have some interesting points. But from an outsider's perspective, when you don't really do it, you look at it and go, well, that's just a nice overlay and a few cameras and done. And then they just chat and enjoy and digress all day long.
Oh, it does look easy, yeah.
It does look amazingly easy, and you think, oh. But then again, if you're doing a streamer thing, obviously your own overlay setups, you put a lot of care into your thought on how you're going to present yourself and that kind of stuff. So I can understand to a degree, but then it feels like podcasting is a whole other level above that. When it comes to, obviously, you've got to formulate your guests, make sure that all the chemistry works. You've got your topics you want to talk about, make sure that they're comfortable with it. Like you said, with the FAQs and all that kind of thing, it's fantastic and it's really cool. But again, like there are only a handful that I would watch. My main weird issue is podcasts, which sounds really strange because we're doing it right now, but podcasts that have a visual element to them.
Hello.
Yeah,
but I think I think Hairy Hippo is referring to the clip game that we're going to play in a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I love every aspect of this, what we do. Like I said, Mellar is like, he's a genius love child of this thing. He's amazing, you know, and it's just. But I look at it and think, isn't podcast? Because I remember when like OG podcasts were coming out, it was literally you listen to it and that was it. You know, it was a little bit you listen to, almost like an audiobook to when you catch it, you download it, and that's it, you're done.
If this is technically a vodcast, do they have a different term for it yet? Because
no, because it feels more like a vodcast. Because most
like
most podcasts you catch them on YouTube or maybe on Spotify or another platform. So there are other brands available, ladies and gentlemen.
I think the thing, if I can just interrupt for a second, I think the thing I would say is, apart from the follow, sub, or dip game, you could listen to this whole thing. You don't have to be watching us.
Well, that's my element ruined with my face and beard.
Some of my favorite podcasts that have been adapted from a thing with a visual element, there will be a part where somebody just gets close to the mic and like, on the screen right now. And it worked out. So you know at least what they watched. You're like, all right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is also good for accessibility for the visually impaired.
Yeah.
You know, open up to more people.
Yeah. Sorry, go on, Hippo. Sorry for
I like the idea of it. I'm always open to these things, which is why I was a bit, when you first offered me to come along with you and, you know, you hold my hand and all that kind of stuff and take me gently into the night. It was lovely, you know, and
New Betty.
I still feel like odd with it being on it, because it's not just my show as such, you know. When I'm on my stream, I know what I can do, how I can behave, what I can get away with on my own thing. Yeah, I mean, Lol, I've seen you in the past in various things, like here and there in different communities. I'm like, I know that name. I've seen that name around. That one's been in this one. That one knows Mellar and all that kind of stuff. So you see names, but like, this is the first time we've ever spoken properly. And yeah, I'm glad you've taken me okay, because I am what we like to call Marmite over here. You either love me or hate me. Yeah, take me as you wish. That's fine, you know, it's okay.
Part of the joy of Twitch is if you like kind of know someone but haven't ever interacted with them, you can easily. It's not even. It doesn't even count as stalking, because it's public, you know. You just go like, I already kind of knew you from browsing some episodes, and I was like, all right, I know what I'm in for.
But no, like I said, I like the idea of podcasts. I think they're fantastic, and there are maybe one or two that I listen to that I enjoy, you know. But I do feel like you got like, everyone seems to have a this is gonna sound so bad, like a gimmick as such. Yeah. And I don't want to make it sound like it's a negative thing, because it's always nice.
I think you're right.
We got the follow subby dippy thing and all that kind of stuff, which is fantastic. Yeah. But
something to stick out, something to be memorable, because you're in a sea.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And I like that. And there's a lot of them that don't really have that as such. They rely purely on, again, another bad word I hate using, content. You know, the stuff that
depends on your strength. It depends on your strength. If that's your strength, then you can rock it. I think I have almost the same. Oh, sorry, keep going.
No, please. I love listening to your voice, so you carry on, please. I don't know if you've noticed, I've been mesmerized for most of this stream just listening to you.
Okay, so fun fact, I'm pretty sure I have never been called anything but ma'am over the phone, and I have to work phones at my job. And for the first time the other week, someone, after calling me ma'am 20 times, they asked my name, and I told, because, you know, people on phone stuff, they'll ask your name so they can try to hurt you later. Not in this case. Not in this case. This was actually legitimate, because she, like, it would be good for her to get a hold of me if she had to call back, because I already know. Anyway, but then she heard my name and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I've been calling you ma'am this long." And I was like, "Oh, I did. I'm numb to it." But anyway, so back onto your point. Sorry, I digress. The I basically I perceive it the same way, of this, just like this infinite sea that you could never even possibly see the end of. Mm-hmm. But to me, it's like a good thing. Like, I enjoy that there's so much, because I don't know. I think it just comes back to when I feel overwhelmed by how many options there are. I think back to when I had 4 NES games for like 5 years, and that was like, there was nothing new. And then how just inverted the dynamic is now, and how I think just being the new boomers, which are millennials, having played it in NES and only had 5 games. We had to go rent one at the movie gallery or whatever, and it was, you just had to look at the box art, because there was no internet to look things up on. Or if there was, you couldn't look up what a game was like. You could like find a GameFAQs text guide. You know, it was a different time.
Oh, and as stole the magazine for the PlayStation 1 or something like that.
The Prima guide.
Yeah. Half of them all had like misinformation on them. They'd spread rumors that weren't true.
Yeah, and nobody can fact check stuff in real time. You can't just go on the internet and, like, you can't look it up on Snopes real quick or whatever.
Exactly. How many people thought that in Gen 1 of Pokemon you could find Mew underneath the lorry next to the SS Anne? It's complete crap.
Okay, one last digression you reminded me of. I love that one of the speedruns for one of the, I think, Pokemon Fire Red, the original Red, one of the Pokemon speedruns involves holding down the B button from the title screen until a certain part of the intro trailer, and it like manipulates the RNG. I love the idea that we all know dozens of that one kid who is telling everybody you got to hold down B to get the Pokeball. He was actually onto something the whole time, and I love that ironic twist there at the end. Okay. Oh, I think I lost it. Back to the sea of content. I did not lose the original point after 2 full digressions. I am on all cylinders today. This is way better than we have ever done on my own show. True story. I have video proof. So I think the idea that we're just like in an infinite sea of content that you could endlessly go through and never reach the end of, I perceive as a good thing, because it means there is truly something, or even several of something, for kind of like everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't used to be a thing in the world that existed. And I mean, I guess it doesn't matter how we feel about that change, but I like it. I don't mind it. And I trust myself to curate content or find good content curators that I like mesh with my own tastes. So I think it's a good thing overall, because at least there's stuff to choose between. We don't have to just like, not like the 4 cable TV channels that are even worth watching, because the only 4 channels that are even worth watching have nothing on that I like at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Or play Silent Bomber on the NES again. Good game, mind you. Good game. But I've played it enough.
I just feel like, because I'm a dabbler. I am a jack of a lot of shit. Will you put yourself away there? I'm normally the dirty one, and you're going really bad today. So we have switched roles and everything. Jesus Christ! But no, I'm definitely a dabbler. Like on my streams, I play games. I do just chatting, and usually they're accidental just chattings because I forgot to go back to the game, or people actually want to talk to me that day, which is nice. You know, playing music with my guitar or anything randomly, stuff like that. You know, I'm even considering trying to shove my phone into my tip pocket and walk down the street and just do some exercise in terms of actually walking. You know, I'm going down, but like I'm interested. I think it's because there's so much stuff, there's so much media and, you know, entertainment out there that to digest. I think it would be hard for me to, if I was to ever do anything independently, which I never will, Mellar, please don't kill me. I'll stay with you forever. But like, I don't think like if I did anything independently or if I did it with another team of people that I could quite comfortably sit on one topic and then follow through, like, you know, hit games that are coming out or retro games to talk about or new music and bands, you know. I like everything. That's the problem, which again is why I'm fat, because I like a lot of food of everything. I just enjoy fascinated in everything. I'm magpie. I see something shiny, I look at it and go, ooh, pretty. Oh, you know, which is why I have a shiny chair.
I would maybe even phrase that as like, it's in that sea of content from the creator side. It's really just that you find your strengths and your weaknesses and adapt to them, like, and make choices advised by your own self-knowledge. Like variety is a strength. Like, play into it. That's good. Like, and these people, like even the content specific ones, if they're really good at how they edit and present it, like that's their strength. Like in a sea of content, you don't necessarily have to stand out. Gimmicks are just one way to stand out. In general, it's you provide something that someone deems good and entertaining and worth having on in the background while they're at work, and it's the highest honor any of us could achieve.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's you know, it's not so much that you have to like be all crazy in a specific way to stand out. It's just like find a way in which you already stand out as a person, because everyone is interesting, and find the best way to present that, I think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which can just be like randomness is a strength that you can find a good way to present. Like, very relatable to me.
Yeah, like the whole thing, because basically chaos is kind of your brand.
Yeah, we play very hard into the shitpost end of the weekly shitpost. It was
Lean
a
into
perfectly fitting name. Yeah, we step in it, really.
Yeah.
We wallow in the shitpost. It's good and it works because we've got like a chaotic format and a chaotic nature, and we generally have chaotic guests on. And when we don't have chaotic guests on, we flip the script and wear suits and actually go full on Terry Gross NPR on them. So like, and that's also its own
that's
sort
why
of
you were wearing suits one time when I was watching you. I was so confused.
Oh,
Why
Virtue!
are they wearing suits?
Virtue! Yeah.
Was it Virtue? I thought it was someone else. I remember
It was either Virtue or Tyler Levs.
I can't remember. I remember seeing Gently wearing like a full suit and tie, and I was like, and he was like, I was the only one who did it this time.
Yeah, that was the shitpost that time, is we planned to and then secretly coordinated not to, so that it would just be Gently.
Well, he looked fantastic.
He did. He's snappy dresser, that kid.
Have you got more, Hippo?
No, I'm good. I just like, I'm trying to, you know, describe it from an, because I generally am an outsider perspective. Like I said, I don't do anything to help Mellar because I'll probably end up breaking it or, you know, smudging it or licking it or something. You know, so Mellar is the genius behind the whole of Chattisfying. It pretty much is the case, you know.
A viable perspective, the outsider one though. Like one of the YouTube channels I like so much I could even name right now, which is like 5 or 6 girlfriend reviews. That's like her whole shtick is the outsider perspective, and it works really well. Like you could find a way to present that in a way that's not only a plus but entertaining.
Yeah.
And then you've won the internet.
Yeah. I probably should explain, I guess, because obviously Harry Hippo is my co-host, but I do pretty much all of the stuff in the background, and there is a very particular reason for that. I used to do podcasts before. Was on it, and it was more. We tried to make it a bit more of an even thing, and it didn't work basically. And
did you say it was too formatted? Was it too tight?
Well, no, it was just.
There's never wrong with too tight. All right, just throwing it out.
It was basically the fact that obviously we were trying to keep it even. I wanted basically things to be a bit more organized, so I knew what the fuck was going on. And the other host wasn't quite so interested in doing that.
Oh yeah, you gotta. Yeah, and that's just part of it. Like we had to cycle through a lot to get to the point where like
exactly
you need a solid group where you can meet each other's expectations.
When I was looking to relaunch, basically, and sort of rebrand, I was like, oh, it'll be my puppy, but essentially we'll have we'll also have a co-host, because frankly I don't think I'm charismatic enough to pull it off on my own. And it's great to have someone to bounce off of, and honestly I'm so glad that you agreed to do this with me. I really appreciate it, and I really love doing it, and I think that's the main thing.
I love the fact you want to bounce off of me, to be fair, so that's good.
That too, but I think that's the main thing. Like it's the same with streaming. I mean, the most important thing is that you enjoy doing it, because if you don't, then in many ways, what's the point? But also, I think the people that are watching it are going to realize, like, even if it's some cottages, they're going to know this guy's not really enjoying himself. Therefore, this isn't really fun to watch or listen to or engage with. And
that goes across almost anything. Like, people can sense desperation. Like, if you're trying to get money, you won't get it. You know what I mean? It's like, it applies to a lot of areas of any kind of like trying to sell yourself, including like waiting tables, really, like everywhere, where you're kind of at the mercy of others.
Exactly.
It generally helps to be doing it for a good reason and to be having fun.
Exactly.
If possible.
And I think there's a lot of parallels with streaming, because it looks easy. And in many ways, it is easy.
It screws with the kids' heads.
It's easy to make content, I'm going to use that word, that people don't want to watch. It's really easy just to start a stream that's really bad quality and people aren't really going to want to watch. It's really easy to start doing a podcast that no one's going to want to listen to or watch. It's making a good one that's hard. Yeah. And growing one too. You have to make a good one and get it to people somehow. Exactly. And exactly what you said earlier, Lol, is the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. It's absolutely true. I mean, I remember I was sort of perusing Twitch a couple of months back, and I happened across, it was called a talk show. What it actually was about 3 people just sitting there having a chat about nothing. It's
quite an original name though, because a lot of people put gimmicks to names, and just to have a talk show, that's quite original. Is it actually called a talk show?
No. I mean, no. One thing is they can't have a talk show.
Okay, I'm taking that on Twitter right now.
Got it. All right, that's it. It's mine.
I'm a talk show.
Sorry, I didn't make that clear.
Bros this now is going to be mine. All right.
Sorry, we're sorry.
There was no topic, and there was a lot of silence, and it was really awkward. And
because you can do that, but you need the right people for it.
Yeah, and it was really just awful, if I'm honest with you. I mean, I didn't enjoy it, and
those make me sad because like you can feel that they're not enjoying it either, and they're also not enjoying it because they got into it for the wrong reasons. Right. And part of them not enjoying it is it's not famous yet, and it's like it's not famous because you're not enjoying. Oh god,
again,
they're doomed.
Parallels with streaming.
Exactly with streaming, so much.
Yeah,
so much sadness.
So that kind of goes into a little bit where I partially, at least, disagree with your assertion, Lolth, that it's good that there's so much out there. Because earlier, just before the stream, we were talking about Vine, weren't we? And you said, because we were talking about how you didn't really watch it when it came out, and you quite like the what are they called? The videos, the curated videos on YouTube, like the best of Vine and all this kind of thing, because someone's already filtered out all of the crap basically and presented you with only the best ones. And I think in many ways, it's again, it goes for streams and for podcasts. It's the same there. There is a lot of crap to wade through.
There's a bit of rubbish,
yeah. To get all. I mean,
I love how you say rubbish. That's amazing.
Oh, I'm an Anglophile. I've always said rubbish.
You are perfect in every way. I know.
This actually goes back to my earliest inspirations for podcasting is staying up too late and on the local NPR station, they'd swap to the BBC World News Hour at like 2 a.m. or so, or whenever it comes on over there in the morning. Yeah, around 2 a.m., like 8 a.m. over there.
Did they have a BBC voice? They're like, hello and welcome to
the BBC. Yes, yes. Good times. Good times.
Wait a second. That was the same accent that I did.
No, I can't do a good accent. I was just doing the one from my memory that's bad.
Give it a 7. I'd definitely give it a 7. I weren't bad.
If I'm not on the spot, I can pull it off just because I've seen too much British comedy. It just bleeds off on you after a while.
I went BBC and Lol went Cockney.
That's fine, but it wasn't Dick Van Dyke, so it was okay.
I didn't identify it as Cockney, so it's fine. Oh, I actually had a follow-up. What did you said? Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, the Sea of Rubbish. So yeah, that actually ties in to a way earlier point when I mentioned that if you have passion for it and you watch it back and it's not so bad that it can't be salvaged, but what is it, like 95% of streamers are like one average viewer. Like it is, to be fair, mostly rubbish, and almost all of them, as well as most of the good ones, will eventually burn out too. So it's a massive revolving door. It's not even like a sea, it's like the tide on the beach, just constantly in and out, except there's little hermit crabs that just dig into the sand, or clams or whatever works for this metaphor. Clams are pretty cool. And they just sit around and, oh my God, the clam metaphor works great. And they filter nutrients as the waves come in, and you collect more and more friends that you believe will actually stick around for a while.
Yeah.
And it gets better and better if you stick to it. But like, yeah, I've seen my fair share of like a phone pointed up at a TV while a kid sucks at Fortnite. There's plenty of that out there, but it's very easy to recognize. Is my counterpoint to that I was getting to, is like your brain flags it immediately as garbage and you move on.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten a lot better at that. I've definitely gotten better at, for example, like 90% of my favorite streamers from 2017 are long gone. But the ones that have stayed, like this guy Virtue,
he was on the show.
I know. He was on like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah,
he was on our show. He's probably our best episode, which I've said like about 20 episodes. But I digress again. The people back then exhibited signs that were in retrospect obvious, that they had what it takes. Like they had the passion, and knew what they were doing, and were going to eventually continue to grow, because they're just a blast to watch. And it's really easy when the easiest way to tell is it fun to watch or not.
Yeah. So yeah, I think ultimately at the end of the day, if you want to do it because you want to have a bit of fun with it, then just go straight ahead, do what you want, and see what happens.
But watch the VOD though. People don't watch their VODs, and they have like bad pixelation and stuff.
I've been saying that recently on my stream, because we obviously, I can't remember why, but I said we always watch your VOD, always, just as a streamer, or as well. Not all of it, because you don't want to sit, stream for 6 hours and then maybe watch all 6 hours. That's maybe a little bit mad, but.
Unless you're egotistical.
A couple of
hours
of it.
Glance through it.
Yeah.
Make sure the mic sounds okay.
Yeah.
See if your bit rate's not bad.
Yeah. I watch about half of my VOD normally, and there's always something that I'm like, oh, I want to change that. Every time, there's always improvements to be made. Always. But
being your own worst critic can be helpful in certain circumstances.
Exactly. But if you want to make it a little bit more user-friendly, but something that someone's going to want to watch / listen to, you've got to have, a relatively. You've got to know what you're going to be talking about. You've got to know, the format. Just having no format, it's not going to work, because at the end of the day, without a format, it's just people sitting around chatting about pretty much nothing.
Which also feeds into the time and effort thing.
Exactly.
Like it can even just be as. The thing that mattered can just be that you actively thought about it for like 5 minutes one day.
Yeah.
that's the start of it right there.
I think at the end of the day, once you've concluded all of the everything all of the prep work, getting together the clips for the clip show, making sure that everyone's on board, Hippo and the guest, and doing all of the other bits and pieces and making it all work. I reckon each episode probably takes about 12 hours, including all of the edit stuff at the end. That's quite a long time. That's why I only do it once a month, because I knew if I wanted to do it weekly, which is how we used to do it on the old one, there's no way it's not going to happen. I've got a full-time job, a kid. I might be able to do it if I literally didn't stream elsewise, but it was just like it's never going to happen, which is why it's monthly. But yeah, you just got to know, really. You've got to sit down and think about what you want, what you want what you want to provide to people, and how you're going to do it. And obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but you can always make adjustments as you go along.
It won't be perfect, but it could be salvageable.
You can fix it in post, right, Lolthulhu?
Yeah.
Let's move on to section 3, which is our clip show, follow, sub, or dip. So if you're listening only, now is a really good time to draw your eyes to the screen, because we're going to start watching some Twitch clips. So I'm just going to quickly explain the game. So we're going to watch 9 clips from 3 different streamers. It should be streamers that we've never seen before. They're chosen mostly at random. The only thing that I have taken into account is the average viewership. And these were the low end. These were 1 to 20 at Lolthulhu's request. I give the guest the option, basically, as to whether we watch 1 to 20, 20 to 50, something like that. Anyway, you get the idea. So basically low, medium, high.
Channels I watch.
You wanted the low end, which is absolutely perfect. So then we'll watch the first 3. We'll each give our some opinion on what we think about that particular streamer from just the content of the clip. So we can't take into account their follower, how many followers they've got.
It's a bit like Tinder.
It's very similar to there's a British program called Snog, Marry, Avoid that is very, very similar in concept. But we won't say whether we'd follow, sub, or dip until the end, until we've seen all 9 clips.
Here it's called Bang, Marry, Kill.
That's the one. Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, who are we killing?
No, that's just what they call it.
No, I'm up for it. I've got a sword. It's okay.
But have you practiced the blade? And if so, what did you sacrifice time that you could have been doing?
That's very true. I mean, to be fair, it's only a show sword. It's only Frostmourne from World of Warcraft, but it looks cool.
Hey, Duhan taught me anything harder than a spider web is technically a weapon in the right hands. Okay, so you just sometimes you can only swing
boy. You heard that. Here we go.
So let's start watching some clips. So let's load up clip number 1. Are we all ready?
Got it loaded. I'm fully prepared.
Right, hold on.
This is me looking at the screen.
I can move very horrible feeling that this may not work 100%, but 3, 2, 1, play that clip.
Okay, now I'm looking at it.
Oh my god. Ow, wait more. You hear me?
Okay. This Warzone, yeah.
Oh, you could have killed him. Oh. Wait,
oh.
I probably just should have stuck with the fire, but it's
fine. All right, and we'll move on then to clip number 2.
Oh, okay. I like that one though. I will say, took a loss well.
So clip number 2, you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, and play that clip.
No sense. The bombs went through my wall.
Okay.
What?
Valorant. Okay.
If that ain't the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life.
What was this camera?
Oh my god,
Eric.
You literally broke his ankles.
I'm not sure.
Wow, they're just funneling through that hallway for him.
Oh
my god. Wow.
He got so hyped he killed DeFranco. That's insane.
Oh, he was watching his dead teammate. I was confused by that.
And I think that was Overwatch, wasn't it?
That was Valorant.
Oh, was it Valorant? Oh, okay.
The new CS:GO Overwatch game.
Oh, yeah.
They may blow up by making getting keys a pyramid scheme. Really good marketing idea. It worked. It's genius.
It's genius indeed.
I'm not bashing him for it. That was clever. Well played.
So let's go on to clip number 3. Are we ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Play that clip. Apex.
I think this is Asu.
Yeah, I see. I watched you. You walked in?
Yep.
Not the bunker.
Oh! Achilles! Let's go! I fucking killed Asu, bro, and I had no armor.
Oh, here he said.
Oh, I think Asu must be a popular person. He recognized.
I actually think I may have heard the name. Funny enough, I don't.
I was like, well, he was very excited about that one kill.
He did a finger dance.
Because
yeah.
our very first guest on this was Navelo, who actually he's sort of semi-professional on Apex. I'm fairly sure I've heard him mention that name. So that is getting a kill on that is kind of a big thing, I guess.
Good job, Koza. You gunned him down too.
Yeah.
That was brutally one-sided. Dude had no chance.
So without saying whether you'd follow, sub, or dip, what are your thoughts on that streamer just from just from those 3 clips?
Okay.
Lolthulhu.
Good attitude. Good attitude. Let's see. Nice tight overlay. He's trying out different camera stuff. He's trying. Ooh, he's got. Look at that mic. What are those mics with the glow on it? That's nice. He's trying out different stuff. Which one of these was the new one?
They're basically the best USB mics you can get, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're like £200.
Isn't it like a Razor or something?
That's it.
I think it's the Razor. Yeah. There's debate on it, but they're definitely
There was
the
a
best
one that was just red, and then they got the upgraded one that's got multicolor, isn't it? Now.
That's right.
Yeah, I know microphones. Raw.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They've got sound cards in them. Let's see. Stream quality is good. Pretty entertaining clip. I enjoyed how much fun he had killing that Asu guy.
Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
Is that all, Your Honor? The defense rests?
The defense rests.
Hippo, then what do you think?
Okay, so the first clip, I really love that camera angle.
I was going to say that, actually, yeah.
That's really cool. Because
everyone
always goes horizontal widescreen, but I like that perspective.
Yeah.
Narrow on the side.
Although he needs to sort out his posture. All right, he needs the posture on the old little like channel points here because that's ridiculous. That's slumpage.
Proper slumpage. See the camera. VOD can help him now. If you watch, he can see that.
That is like 90s gamer child right there. You know, you're sitting on a beanbag and you're playing with your controller at the front. You know?
Absolutely.
Wow.
You know
Hold on.
I mean?
Let me. Okay.
Let me just adjust accordingly. Yeah, there we go. But my question, because I don't really know, the little character underneath his camera on the first one, is that going to be some kind of like bit reactor kind of thing, or is it just going to be like a gify jiffy thing?
It looks like it's one of those bit reacty stream pets things that were in style for a while. This is an old clip though, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't really know, but I agree. I think that's what it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
Because I always see a lot of people do those kind of varying things. Like, I can't remember who had like all the little Pokemons and various little, you know, anime characters on the bottom of the screen. You could choose one and all this kind of stuff. See,
I like those.
Yeah. Cool. I like them, but I never know. Like, I just feel like for me, it'd be too busy and I'd be too distracted by my own stream because I'm looking at the things going left and right.
Yeah,
they move. Look at that. But
yeah.
I do like that camera angle. I do like the camera.
Yeah.
The second one, I was like trying to figure out what was going on, how he was able to play a game without moving his mouse.
Yeah, that was confusing.
He was watching someone else.
And it also looks like, I know there's obviously lighting is a bit awkward there, but it also looks like he's got a kind of like mist effect on the edges, which I kind of like.
I think that's I think that's just poor lighting. I'm not 100% sure.
You think it's poor lighting? Because it's only on the outer left and right.
It looks like a gradient, like a circular gradient.
You reckon?
Yeah.
It doesn't look good though, does it?
I think that'd be nice with a brighter light though. Like if it's on the person, you have that slight mistage.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I like the cleverness of that, if it is the case.
Yeah.
And in the third one, I was amazed by his wrist action.
Yeah.
Because that thing was going all over the desk. That really was.
Very low sensitivity, big mouse pad, big plays.
Yeah. And then the finger dance when he killed.
Yeah.
It literally just went like.
He's conscious of his niche as a hand camera, FPS streamer. Like I feel like he's settled into a groove here, and he's conscious that the mouse is the only thing they can see, and he's making full use of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think.
That's cool.
I'd probably say is he's got his niche, hasn't he? His first-person shooters. I love the fact that all 3 of the clips are different games, even though they're in the same genre. I do like his camera angle because, generally speaking, I'm not that keen on when a streamer isn't looking directly at you. I'm also generally not that keen on full body, but he's got both of them here, and I don't really know exactly how or why, but it works really well. I think it looks great.
I like it's all tucked to the side.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's kind of out of the way, but it's there. You know, you can. He's obviously want to focus on gameplay.
Exactly.
But you see a lot of people that want to just like shove a third of their screen as their camera while doing gameplay, and you're like, do you see that guy I killed behind my screen? No. But if I push myself over to the side, you get to enjoy both.
Yeah.
I mean,
good news. The narrow camera, that's the latest version. That's his current overlay right there.
We can't take that into account though. But that's fine because it's not on the thing. But that it does seem, just looking from them, that it does appear that that first clip is the most recent clip. You can sometimes tell. We've discussed this in pretty much every single episode of this show. Hand cam is great, but hand cam without face cam, not so great. Having them both is fine, but just a hand cam on its own, I don't know. I've never really been a fan. Although what I would say is this guy is clearly pretty hot at the game, which is something we don't actually very often see on the show.
So we know that's true.
Yeah.
I can't relate. It is one of the things I like to watch people who are good at a video game as someone specifically who streams and is not good at any video game. It's like, oh, what would that be like? That's cool.
Yeah, I've seen lots of streamers with hand cams. Normally, if they've only got a hand cam, I'm going to dip. If they've got both, I'm probably going to stay. But one thing I would say,
do you dip no cam? Do you dip on a no cam?
Not
like in general.
Not just because it's a no cam. No.
Okay. Yes. Yeah,
but it will be a pretty big mark in the box for me to probably leave. There's got to be something really big
for the rest of it. If there's no like face-to-face contact,
kind
of, or face to not. One-way face contact, whatever the hell you call it. Like, there's a higher bar. Like, don't if you have a very terrible grating voice to go with a no cam, that's probably a deal breaker. Absolutely. It just changes the criteria, I guess. For me,
I think I'd be happy with a hand cam if it was like you were playing Tekken on PlayStation 1 and you had to do the combo moves.
But you still need the face cam though. Is my argument.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm pulling weird faces while I'm trying to remember, like. And then, but I'd be kind of happy to see them do those kind of complicated. When you just left click, right click. Oh, that's amazing skill.
For the record, there's nothing necessarily wrong with not having a cam. If you don't want to have one, then don't have one. Basically, just saying
comfort levels.
If what you're looking for is growth, it doesn't stop you from growing. It's just harder.
To be fair, one of my favorite streamers and the person who pretty much got me started on it, Swango TV, he is a no cam streamer. Yeah,
it is possible to be a great no cam streamer, but it's just a lot harder than if you do have a cam. One thing
also, I know one thing that we don't have to deal with, but I know a good about a dozen female streamers who do no cam because they don't enjoy to get sexually harassed while they stream video games. Totally understandable.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get the same feeling. I always get sexually harassed.
Your chat,
yeah, but you like it.
People who are terrified of speaking because they don't want to deal with being harassed.
Yeah, that's horrible, really. But
yeah, it is.
Thing I was going to say about the stream is I really actually like the fact that he's clearly thought about the theme. He's got like the purple coming out of his microphone, and he's got the purple around the thing. I kind of like that. It looks like it shows that he's put some thought into it. And I do think overall his overlay is quite nice. It's fairly minimal, although I don't know. That's part of the game, isn't it? No, it's really good. It's minimal. I like it.
Oh,
he needs a black and purple shirt though.
What if the camera was a progression? Yeah, definitely match the shirt. What if at first he was too subconscious to have a face cam on, and he just had the mouse cam on, so people couldn't accuse him of hacking?
So we've just basically in a reverse timeline
and
of how
he's
progressed.
Grown. Yeah, he's grown.
That is possible.
And now he's grown into himself. I'm so proud of it.
The only other thing I would say, though, is at no point during any of those clips did we see him react to chat.
No, it's true.
Did we have chat? He might not have.
No, but like talking to them at it. But I gotta say one more thing.
Yeah, I mean, even if there's no one there, you've still got to talk to chat, haven't you?
Yeah. That's kind of the point. Good at games niche, you don't have to. In the good at games niche,
that's true.
So he is in the right sector for that, at least.
I mean, that particular niche is a niche that I won't myself visit. So
I have no experience there. And I don't watch the good at games people who don't also occasionally check their chat. But I understand if they're busy winning a game, they'll wait until after the match.
Let's move on then, shall we?
Yeah.
Right, so let's move on then to clip number 4. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
So 3, 2, 1, play that clip.
Come on, motherfucker, I hear you. Yeah,
Profanity.
oh, he's laying
Fucking
down.
hate profanity.
B running into our spawn now.
They're
How did
fucking
you pass
swearing
that?
kids.
Oh, he must have ran mid.
No!
Oh, that was a good play too, except for the end.
Alright, if you go up that ramp, he's hard peeking there. Like, he's up.
Prone below low cover.
Amazing.
Good move.
All right, so we'll move on to the next clip. Clip number 5. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and play that clip.
That makes a lot.
Oh, this game.
Oh god.
Jesus.
I am a slippery whore. Fuck you.
The terror.
Which way am I supposed to go? That way.
The panic pause, the familiar panic
Yeah,
pause.
right.
Hold on, it's like, I need to feel not terrified for a moment. I'll catch up a chat. Good excuse. Good, well played, well
I
played.
relate. All right, and then clip number 6. Are you ready?
Mm.
3, 2, 1, play that clip.
Is it all safe? But there's a person over there. And there's
Jump
blood
scare
fucking
warning.
everywhere.
I'm thinking that too.
And now
It's titled
saving?
First Jump Scare.
Man, you're just
I
straight
hate
up
this
lying
game
to
so
me.
much.
Well, now we have the warning out. So we've been playing. Wow. A jump scare while opening a door. Never been done.
It's the same game, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Outlast. It's messed up.
Oh, that is a game that I will never play. Okay, brilliant. So, again, without saying whether you'd follow Sober Dip, what were your thoughts there, Lolthulhu?
Okay. What are my thoughts? Let's see. I am a slippery whore.
That was good, wasn't it?
If I ever notice someone's tip jar, I consider it to be tacky. I think the good ones you don't notice. So there's some overlay changes I would suggest. But they also, I'm just assuming that this is a newer streamer for which those things could be excused, and so I'm
It's
going
very 2018, the tip jar.
yeah, I'm going to disregard them as new streamer stuff.
There's no way really of knowing that.
There is actually, having looked at her her latest VOD, she's cleaned up the overlay and it looks great. So I'm disregarding that from my critique. Okay. Content was good. I enjoyed it. I don't think I have any good comments here. I don't have any good commentary beyond what I've said.
Okay, no problem. Do you want to go then, Hippo?
I'll go. Big name at the top.
What of the first clip?
Oh god, it was so tacky. I didn't even notice it.
But it gets bigger in the first one.
Oh shit! I thought that was provided by the game.
Okay,
it's not.
Big name.
No.
Yeah, that's
big name. They got smaller as we got through the streams.
Yeah, no, which means that actually it got bigger because I'm pretty sure that the newer one is the first one.
Modern overlay is just the camera. Looks really clean.
Yeah, I like the lighting.
Yeah, I thought that was provided in the first clip. I thought it was provided by the game, and then after that, I just didn't notice it anymore. That's really weird.
I like the fact that the lights seem to change in the first clip and between, and then 2 and 3 are the same. I like it's almost like an anal bead lightsaber in 2 and 3.
Yeah. Oh, the lighting, yeah.
I like that.
Just one.
Oh wow! Now that you said it, I can't unsee it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
One thing that I did forget to mention about the previous streamer actually is that
we've had an hour.
Yeah,
really?
When he yelled
during the closer hour,
he peaked. Sorry, go on, Hippo.
Yeah, that's cool. If you're gonna do that, then I do some kind of like one of those like edge jutting kind of things where it like shapes off your square box, but you're not in a border as such. You can get those. I think some
kind of edge to it that's not.
So it's just like it juts it off like with like a transparency thing, and you can green screen off your edges and all that kind of stuff. So it just makes it a little bit more cooler looking than just here, have a box.
Yeah.
On that, kind of related to that, I've been thinking of a thing where you know that camera effect when something's in the wrong format for whatever video, like it's like a phone camera and you're watching on YouTube, and like the edge of the screen is just like blown up, blurred out of like edges of that. So that kind of effect around the camera, like with a blur, and then to amplify it, you take lights like that and you line the actual borders. You have to be very, you have to have your camera in a specific spot for it, but then you line the edges of that with lights and see how that looks. That's my latest idea.
Or what you could do is go back to the Koza hour and go for the purple faded edges.
Go for the purple fade edge, yeah, faded edge.
But no, she interacted with her stream a little bit as well.
Yeah,
I think it's just we got her at the wrong moments.
Yeah.
I think she's probably more interactive than she was being portrayed in her clips.
Yeah, I did get that feeling actually, because all of these clips were quite like focus heavy moments. You could kind of tell that in the non-focus heavy moments she would chat, because there was a couple of times where even though she was focusing, she was kind of narrating what she was doing. And you could kind of tell that if she wasn't so focused, she would have been narrating a lot more. Also, the very end of the jump scare, I think that she then laughed at something that she read on chat. I'm guessing here, but that seemed to be, so there's chat interaction there. Yeah, I definitely agree with chat here about she could do with some sort of border or some sort of like softening around that to make it look good. To be honest with you, I actually think her overlay in the last clip is the best one. Again, the name is far too big in my opinion, but then the overlay in the first clip, like both the name, which is even bigger than it was before, and the sub goal is massive. It could be like, if you really wanted it to be there, then it would need to be, really at least half that size, in my opinion. It takes up too much space, even though it's in the corner.
Early days. Luckily, those are the things that are like the easiest to learn. I think
they're really easy to fix as well.
There's stuff you can't really teach very easily, or maybe at all, and some people maybe can't even learn at whatever point in their life they're at. That's like the really most important stuff.
But also,
I'm just disappointed in the fact that you guys didn't notice the most obviously in your face thing, which was her name, and I was the only one that noticed that. I'm very disappointed in you two with that.
Why?
Oh, the giant.
Oh, the giant name. Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah.
I've
in your face.
So many tacky streams, my brain just like filtered it out immediately. Like I didn't even recognize.
I kind of hated myself for it for a little bit, because like when I first started, I had my name in like the border at the top that had all my bitty bits and all that kind of stuff, and it had the hairy head. And I thought about it like 6 months later, going, why do I need to put my own name on my own stream?
Yeah.
I don't get that. And why would I do that on my own YouTube? Because like you're going to my channel, so why do I need to put my name on it? Unless somebody's going to steal my clip and put it on Scarce's show or something, then it'd be kind of handy.
That's why you gotta put the label. That's why I put a name under my camera. I'm not even kidding. Good times. Oh, but the trial and error stuff, like, we all have like thousands of stories.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Dozens of stories of things that are like, how was I doing that so wrong for so long? But now there's an entire literal industry of YouTube beginning streamer advice. Hopefully it's having some impact of like the basic stuff that I really wish I didn't have to find out on my own, like a year and a half later, and like, wait, this whole time? Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the kind of, I mean, I'm not a big fan of myself. I don't particularly like when the streamer is on Discord, because I generally want to go into a stream and talk to the streamer, and if they're on Discord, it's not going to happen. I've tried so many times; it's just a waste of time, in my opinion. But I do like the fact that there's clearly effort that's been put into this, like some thought. For example, she's got a headset on and she's got the microphone. I'm guessing then that the headset's for speaking on Discord. The microphone, the actual, desk microphone there that's on a boom arm is, so her stream can hear her. There's thought that's been put into the stream. The lights in the background, I actually kind of like them.
Which ones though?
They make in all three clips. They definitely add something. It may not be a huge amount, but I think it does look better than if they weren't there.
Yes, yeah, but it's not into a point where it's too in your face like most people have the RGBs in the corner that makes like a Harris Heller clone.
Yeah, exactly. I actually quite like them. They add something to the stream. They're clearly something that would have required some effort. I obviously don't know how much effort because I haven't got them, but I like them. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
To the last three clips. So clip number 7.
Johnny 2KK.
All right. So 3, 2, 1, and play that clip.
How do you know I'm here?
One, but we'll come back to
how do you know? What?
Like that.
Did you shoot my body? Like what? How did you even know I was fucking there? I was ghosted by the time you popped that UAV.
Just an editor's note, I had to significantly decrease the volume of this clip and the next clip in post, and what you see now is our reaction to how loud it was on the original recording. Sorry, for anyone watching whose ears are now bleeding, I'm really sorry. That scared the absolute shit out of me.
Put a compression filter on your output, folks.
Yeah, I increased the sound because it was really quiet, and then all of a sudden it was really loud. It honestly scared the heck out of me. I mean, you can literally see me jump there. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay, let's move on to...
Good morning, everyone.
clip number 8.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, play that.
Direct fire!
Dude, he's down in the car and ran me over! No, but I downed his buddy! No, okay, if he runs away... No!
Enemy
No,
vehicle!
God! No!
UAV overhead.
What?
Don't worry, you'll make it.
No! You're so nice! Get him! No!
What am I witnessing, bro?
It's role players. He ran into role players in Warzone or Modern Warfare.
I don't know what's going on. So look, we'll move on to the last clip.
Okay, I think the last voice we heard in there was actually the streamer.
What?
I think in that last one, the last voice we heard was actually the streamer reacting to just... The other people were just... I think those are people he just came upon in game.
Okay. No problem.
Okay.
So, 3, 2, 1, play that.
Not dead yet. Taking direct.
I'm the fucking best.
I need recon on my position.
UAV entering the AO.
Fair to say those kids just got shit on.
Yeah, fair.
Motherfuckers!
Nice. Does this game have swearing in it?
Be advised, UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for
Kids about to get
resupply.
joked.
Oh,
All right.
cliffhanger.
To be continued.
Cliffhanger there at the end.
So,
UAV
Without
is
He
bingo
died
saying-
right
fuel.
after that.
without saying whether you would follow sub or dip, because that comes right at the end, what did you think of that streamer lot?
Okay.
No.
I hope you fixed the pixelation in the
Right.
second one. Little bit rate issues. Nice clean overlay.
Yep.
Except for that sub counterattacks, could clean that up a little bit, make it a little, put a little effort into it.
Hmm.
And move it over to the right a little bit because it's not centered.
Yeah, a little bit of cleaning up on that, but we don't know which one of these is. I don't know what his current overlay looks like. He's probably cleaned it up a bit. He had the one, looks like he went no cam either before or after this.
Yeah.
The second clip, actually, with the bad video quality, what a great moment. A lot of times I feel bad after something great happens off stream. Like, oh man, I should have just been casually recording everything I do for that one moment.
Yeah.
And that was one of them for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons multiplayer gaming is so good. Even in a hardcore competitive game like this, some people will still take time out of their day to have a bit of a shit post, and I appreciate that energy. So I guess lucky he was there for that. Good kill streak there in the last one. Bit cocky, but competitive gaming, and he just won. So what do you expect?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, clips, all in all.
Fair enough. Hippo?
So, yeah, but like I said, the sub count needs to be centered a bit more. That's just my main. I don't have OCD, but that's like an OCD for me if I had OCD.
Yeah, I understand.
It's centering things.
Yeah.
Because it just makes me twitch a little. Is he a PC gamer with a controller or a console gamer with an adaptive camera?
I can't tell from the merits of these clips. Oh, actually, no. In the first clip,
he looks like he's sitting down playing on the console.
Yes, definitely.
But the third one,
he looks like.
Yeah.
He looks like he's at a PC.
Yeah.
But also, can you please sit up?
That was something
or
that
just
I was going to mention. Actually,
Yeah.
the camera is really badly framed, in my opinion. You need it needs to be centered.
Well.
Like I said this to Lolthulhu at the beginning, didn't I?
You gotta nitpick the camera.
Yeah,
you got to.
It is a bit of a pet peeve of mine, sort of framing. Like when people have the tops of their heads cut off, it's a bit of a bugbear of mine. But just as much as that, in the third clip especially, he's right at the bottom of the frame, and it seems to me in that particular image, the focus of the image is the stuff in the background. It's not even him.
Like in the first one, he's slouching forward, but you know that when it's coming to a chill session part of that game, he's going to be sitting upright and he's going to be a bit more positioned, and all that kind of stuff. The camera angle's going to be good.
Well, I actually think it might be the other way around. I think that when he's not in the middle of something that's clearly very exciting, he'd sit back and you'd see less of him. I think. On that, because that looks like a couch kind of chair that you'd sit back on.
Yeah.
To me.
No. My only other query was that because there was no real, I didn't see any like chat interaction, but then again, it's a hardcore, fast-paced games and all that kind of stuff. I get that, but like, it makes me feel more like it's a console situation because there's no interaction at all. There isn't any like even up on his screen like some people would have and stuff like that. It's completely. Yeah, I haven't really streamed console. Luckily, I know someone who has. Yeah, like I assume you would have to use like a phone to be able to read your chat on it. I've never streamed off a console.
I'm not really
sure. It's a pain, and usually something like that. Have a laptop up nearby.
Yeah.
So, but very much in the game.
Yeah, I do like his overlay in the first and the third clips. It's quite minimal, which is always a plus for me. I quite like a nice minimal overlay. Although, like I said, the sub count it's a bit too minimal. It looks a bit low effort.
Grats on the subs, though, dude. Grats on the subs.
It's a nice high number for sure.
I don't care.
The problem with that for me is that the entertainment is an entertaining clip, but the entertainment isn't provided by the streamer whatsoever. It's basically luck.
Circumstance based.
Yeah, it's a lucky clip that he basically got by circumstance. He happened to be in the right place at the right time, and these other people provided some very entertaining content for him, essentially.
Who would do that?
I didn't really get any entertainment from any of that, if I'm honest. I'm not really a fan of the game, so there needs to be something outside of the game to keep me there, and there is nothing in this stream outside of the game, in my opinion, at all. So now it is time for the hammer to fall. So we now choose which one of these three streamers you would follow, which one you would sub, and which one you would dip. And Lolt, unless you don't want to, would you like to go first?
Okay. Tough choice on the sub versus follow. Just from what I know now, currently, I'd probably sub to our first boy Koza.
Yep.
I'd probably follow Killer Kimmy, and I'd probably dip on our boy Joni 2KK.
You'd sub the first one. You'd follow the second one.
Sub first. In order, I would sub, follow, and dip on the sub, follow, and dip.
Okay, no problem at all.
Controversial.
Meta.
Amazing.
Welcome to the meta episode.
And what about you, Hairy Hippo?
I'm slightly different.
Yeah.
I'd definitely be dipping number 3 because there's no interaction. Yeah. And again, the circumstance base was cool, but I'm not going to be waiting hours on end to hopefully get another situation like that where he's almost run over. I think I'd follow number 1 because I think he's trying, he's doing different things. That's cool. I'm intrigued to see where he goes on that one.
Yeah,
he's definitely developing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
but the reason I sub the third one, set number 2, is purely because of the interaction. There is definitely interaction with the chat, and when I come to Twitch, I'm not here to watch like Amazon Prime or anything like that. I've come to watch and talk to people because I'm very lonely and horny. So, but like there was definitely some interaction. There's also different styles of games as well being played as well, which is nice. A bit of variety is always key.
Yeah.
And I really love the anal bead lightsabers.
Yeah, amazing. I fully agree with one of you.
What are the odds?
That
You're going meta, aren't you?
is Hippo. I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
I would definitely dip on the third guy. There, like I said, there was nothing there for me at all. I completely understand why some people would really enjoy that stream. People that enjoy watching the good gameplay. Not me. I'm definitely not going to be there. I don't see myself having any kind of meaningful interaction with this guy that would allow me to walk away essentially happy. I guess. While he's streaming anyway. I should probably put that in. Follow the first guy for sure. He definitely had promise there. I liked his setup, especially in the first clip. And some interesting things happened. And yeah, the sub easily goes to the second person there. She easily had sort of the most going for her out of the 3 that we watched, just on the basis of the 9 clips that we saw.
I still highly recommend getting rid of the tip jar though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because even like, if only because the color scheme of that tip jar does not match the rest of the aesthetic.
The only thing that I would say
you can have
is
one if I don't notice it.
It does. It does look like it. She may have made it herself, which I think is brilliant. Like, it's so much better than just using the one that you can get from Streamlabs or something. I don't know that obviously for sure. I could be fully wrong, but I would actually prefer one clearly made themselves by the streamer than just a smaller one that's provided by like Streamlabs or Stream Elements or whatever.
And maybe a smaller name.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Hopefully, I get that with my,
it.
with my sub. That's
and
like
also pro tip. I think I feel like it's a pro tip. I'm not sure. Put it near your camera, so even if someone does decide to steal your content and it's really good, and then they crop the hell out of it, they still can't crop your name out of it without also cropping the video. And then they're like, "Whose voice is that?
Yeah.
Why is this so zoomed in? You had to go through so much work for this."
Was she on camera as well?
I don't know. Could be. Could be. We wouldn't know.
Great ones, you know.
Got the name out. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I think that is pretty much a wrap then. I think we're pretty much done. Do either of you have anything that you want to add to anything just before we kind of finish off?
Well, I just want to say thanks for coming on, Lol. I really enjoyed it. You know, bear in mind it's our first proper interaction. It's been absolutely fantastic. I've really
it was great meeting you sort of face to face.
I'm still in love with your voice. Don't care if you're a mom.
Thank you.
All right, you're still adorable.
I feel slightly less self-conscious now. I appreciate it.
How do you feel? No, go on.
I want to plug Streamers Dynasty. Is this a good time for it?
Yeah, absolutely. Go straight ahead.
Yeah, so I own a stream team. I've been recruiting the best small streamers in it. Mellar's in it. That's how you can tell. My goal is just to get enough people of the criteria I talked about earlier, like people of the right attitude and perspective that will be around for a while and continue to grow. And it's just naturally shaping into a cool thing. So and we don't, we've got good mentors on hand. So if you have like a giant name on your overlay that covers a lot of the game, we can help you out. Just come ask, and we'll ask somebody to check out your overlay or whatever. We got lots of good minds there, and it's just a nice place to hang out. Streamers Dynasty, that's my plug. At Streamers Dyn, it's like Dynasty. At Streamers Din on Twitter. I don't know. Hit us up.
Yeah, no problem.
I didn't make the Twitter account, okay?
Amazing. No, I definitely. It's my first streamer team to be in, and I'm so glad that's my whoa
sub bomb. Dang.
I'm well happy that's my first as well. And it's full of amazing people, and I know that my friend Oni literally today got added to the team.
Today, we got him in today.
Amazing,
good man too.
Thank you so much for the 5 gifted.
Hey, thanks for bringing him in, dude. He came in. He said he came in because you were on board, and he's like, must be good. I'm like, well, you must be good too. And he was.
He's lovely, and thank you so much, Bray and Boney, for the subs. I really appreciate you guys. So I think we're pretty much done. What I will say is that thank you so much, Lolt, for being on essentially again, even though it was like what 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago.
God, I have no idea. Do you have video of that? I want to go back and watch it.
Oh yeah, I can totally give you the link to the whole episode. It's all on YouTube.
How much worse or less, how much more or less cringe I was back then.
In fact, there is the link to the old podcast in its entirety. Lolthulhu's episode is episode 3 if you want to watch it. The links in the description below for YouTube will be, of course, all of the links to see me, Hippo, and Lolth. And also I'll include the stream team one as well, if you like as well. I mean, if you take anything away from this whole thing, please at least follow Lolthulhu and Hippo, because they're amazing and I love them both. I think
we'll put passion into your work.
Exactly. Absolutely. And everything that you do. I really enjoyed it. Absolutely. It really has been an absolute pleasure having you. You've got a lot of interesting things to say. And I don't think that could have gone any better. So shall we sign off?
Yeah.
Thank you very much everyone for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me.
Like, follow, and subscribe.
We do this every month. It's a monthly podcast. We have a different guest on. Yeah, all the good stuff. Join the Discord as well. Because you can get updates on when this is going up on YouTube, who the next guest is going to be, when the next episode is going to be live, all the good stuff. Yeah, we shall see you guys next time. Bye for now.
Goodbye.
Chattisfying.